Hello, hello, good evening, welcome everyone, welcome to the Tiger. This is the newer-ish battleships for the Brits, and so this is the tier 4, this is the first along the new tech tree. I've been having some fun with it. I haven't had, killer awesome games with it. It's kind of what you'd expect, I guess you would say. But one thing that people aren't expecting is for it to have torpedoes, so you do get this awkward single torpedo launcher, one in the front on each side, and then one in the back on each side. So you get 4 launchers, but it's they only launch 1 torpedo. But it's great. Like, it's good to have those. Yeah, like I've been using them. Like, they've come in handy a couple of times. So that part's been kind of fun. So we'll continue to play along this tech tree, and get some videos out as we unlock these ships, right? So we here on Phoenix 61's channel don't pay real doubloons or real money to unlock stuff, so we gotta trek our way through. And then we're working our way through one of the recent campaigns too, because I was interested in the campaign ship, so I had to make sure that we finished that. And so yeah, it put us a little bit behind on playing with these British battleships. So yeah, so here we go. So it's always a bummer when you see a lot of destroyers in your battleship, but honestly, like these, some of these, like the British battleships, especially if you outload them, you kind of load them out for HE shell damage. I don't really know if that's the best thing to do with these. I know a lot of the other British battleships, I've got them outfitted just to kick ass with high explosive rounds. And I was not paying enough attention so I just naturally equipped that same commander, and I've been playing with that same commander, but yeah, there may be a better way to go with these. We'll see after we play around with them for a little bit. But engine boost is kind of cool and welcome for a British battleship, right? Especially at these lower tiers. Like, it's always like, oh my gosh, it's so slow, make us move. So we're shooting at another Tiger, not doing that much to him, but somebody else's torpedoes are wrecking him pretty good, so we won't have to worry about him anymore. And then New York up there too, eyeing him up, but he went dark there. So all we really have to do is go destroyer hunting, and you know how good of an idea it is to go destroyer hunting when you're in a slow battleship, right? This is part of the game mechanics that I love about this game. I feel like games that have this like 3-way rock paper scissors mentality, like for some reason those are the games that I like fall in love with, right? And so this is one of them. So battleships are really good, and this is what's typical, right? Not every ship, but battleships are great at taking out cruisers. Cruisers are great at taking out destroyers, and destroyers are really great for going after battleships, right? So here we are in a battleship, and we're literally don't have much choice but to hunt down these destroyers. Now you could play a little bit more conservative here too. We are taking some bad hits from the battleships across the map, but you could play a little bit more conservative here than I do, where I'm just like, you know what? My team is up, we're getting this zone cap, I'm going to get around this island and see if I can't get away from, these battleships that are taking over our zone at B. If I can get around this corner and get angled a little bit better, I won't have to worry about them as much. And since it's lower tier, I'm not too worried about getting just, obliterated in one salvo. But I'm sure it can still happen, so yeah, have to be careful. So we take a shot at the Nikolai just because I know these destroyers over here are going to just hide like a bunch of babies in their smoke screen. But we do have to anticipate torpedoes coming out of there, right? So we don't want to maintain a solid course. We want to mix it up. So we're turning left here, and then we're going to give it a minute. Yeah, we see some torpedoes coming there, so good thing we didn't keep going straight. And then in a minute here, we're going to turn back in towards those destroyers. Just because I know that they're probably launching torpedoes out in front of us now, right? So between the two of them, I'm sure somebody's got some reloaded. These battleships out here, for the most part, I'm checking to make sure they're not eyeing me up. That way I know it's safe to turn broadside to them, at least for the time being, right? we're checking our secondary battery range. So we checked the secondary battery range in the menu there, and then we triggered our secondary reload booster, right? So that gave us a close quarters combat medal there, because our secondary batteries are what finished them off. And then our turn in towards those destroyers is what saved us from all those torpedoes there. And so now we will hunt down this Brutagna. It's Britain. I'm sure my second way of saying it was closer to the actual pronunciation, but still failed, right? So we're going to try and annoy him with fireballs here and see if we can't get some damage over time from setting fires on him. Just because we are using that commander. And like I said, yeah, I really need to, leave it in the comments if you guys have had success, what a good build is for these, this tier, or this tech tree of these new British battleships. And I'll, sometimes I take into, a lot of you guys are better at builds than I am, so so sometimes I take your advice and try things out, and I appreciate it. But yeah, so as we continue to get fires lit on him, like eventually he's not going to be able to put these out. Yeah, I think these ones, he's got to let these burn now because he doesn't have damage count anymore. And then the other thing too is, like, we're up so many ships on this team that I like to go and play super aggressive when I know my team has a really good chance of winning. Occasionally that still gives you a loss, but if too many people on your team do that, right, like if everybody all of a sudden starts playing stupid, you can still lose, right? But we will chase down this Bretagne, this French battleship, and then while getting the sea cap here, and then we'll kind of see what unfolds after that and head up towards the destroyer and other battleship on the enemy team, right? We'll put out this fire. I know there's the potential for a destroyer being close by us, but we're not sailing on a steady course here, so we'll use the damage con to put the fire out. I think he was like, man, these fires are really annoying, I should shoot fireballs back at him, Alright, so there's their destroyer, so we're fine. We're plenty out of range of his torpedoes for the time being, but by the time our damage con is ready, I'm sure we'll be closer, right? So I shot a little short there because it looked like he was about to hit that island, and so my guess was correct, but my bullet still missed, right? So somebody here, yeah, here comes torpedoes from him. So luckily our destroyer was out there to spot those. Whether those were meant for us or that destroyer, we will never know, right? Well, if they don't make it, they might fizzle out by the time they get to us. There goes Britannia. From all those torpedoes. Torpedo beats my bullets, at least this time. Alright, so he's going to turn to our left. We're going to send some torpedoes a little bit further out that way in case he keeps moving. But he'll want to turn broadside to us to dump torpedoes at us at some point, right? So if that torpedo, that one torpedo we sent can make it over there. So we're using the overview camera there just to keep our guns on that same side of our ships. If you didn't know that, whichever way you happen to be aiming, when you go into the overview camera, your guns will continue to point in that direction, right? So it's a good little trick to, if you need to keep your guns moving, or steady or in a certain direction while you look around. That's a nice little trick, right? So we do that quite a bit in battleships just because the turrets always move so damn slow, right? So yeah, so for being an aggressive player this game, we have quite a bit of health left, but we do have those nice generous British heals, right? So a lot of the British battleships and ships and commanders, quite frankly, have some pretty decent perks when it comes to healing your ship. And part of that is because your ship can take damage like nobody's business, and so you need those extra special heals that can heal. What is it? Even like more critical damage, right, or something like that. But So we will see where this puts us on the leaderboard. We take 2nd place, but yeah, that seemed like an easy game thanks to our team, right? So we appreciate you guys, right? So yeah, we still have several unlocks to do for this ship. I will take the firing range increase, typically is what I go for first here. But yeah, so as we work our way through this new tech tree, we will put out some games with those ships just since they're kind of newish, right? If somebody's gone crazy and wanted to, like, it's the only thing you can work on, of course you're going to get them faster than I will, right? So thank you for watching, everybody. Please make sure to subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to do a World of Warships video every single day. Thanks for watching.